Your mother's big ass. All right. Well, we're Talking Dicks. This is the audio version of the web series Two Dicks here on the Patreon for the patrons of our Patreon page. And today we got a special guest with us.
Who is our special guest?
Well, we have comedian, singer, songwriter Pat Godwin.
Hey, there he is in the flesh. Hi, Pat.
Patty G is here.
I'm on my new couch.
You're on your new sofa. You made the purchase, yeah?
Yeah. Just moved into a new place, Jimmy and I.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah. Jimmy is Pat's son.
My 9-year-old son, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Follow Pat on Instagram or Facebook, and you'll see plenty of Jimmy and his thoughts and
that's all I do.
His adventures and his ponderings on life and other things. You
can't do politics, and people beat you up if you do your own promotion sometimes.
Right. Oh, I know. Right? Are you promoting anything coming up? Are you working?
I just did my first show last Saturday after being off since the beginning of March.
Oh wow, how'd it go?
Yeah. It actually went really well because I paid attention to it as opposed to the last time I was off, and I thought everything would be there, and it wasn't. So I really, I looked at old game films and I listened to, to tapes and stuff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I got up to.
And how much time did you have to do?
50.
Yeah.
50 for your first time.
Yeah.
For your first time out. Wow. Okay.
And it was all there. I didn't really stumble at all. I was really surprised.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, all the segues were there, but I paid attention to it. I listened on the way down, like a 3-hour drive to my live album from 2010.
It's so hard.
I had a Monica Lewinsky song.
It's so hard, though. I know I had to do the same. Listen to my stuff. It's so painful to listen, but
it really is.
Because you forget certain bits are just they'll go, but yeah, that is the toughest.
But the
thing.
audience,
and you think
the audience loves it as much as we hate listening to ourselves. The audience loves it. I'm sure after being cooped up for months, you guys are a breath of fresh air and very entertaining. Because I haven't performed yet live.
You haven't?
No.
When was the last time you were on stage?
Other than Zoom, March 14th.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's when. Yeah, that's kind of when we walked off ships.
I was 900 people in the theater on a celebrity ship, which Pat, you and I sailed to Venice. Was it 4 or 5 years ago we sailed to Venice?
Yeah, and we went out into Venice a couple of days. We had a blast.
It was so much fun. We had a great time. We ate some phenomenal food, of course. But
you're real funny and real likable to hang out with, and that gal I was hanging out with was pretty on the
Michelle, I do.
Michelle,
she was a lovely gal friend of yours. Yes.
Did you bring her on the cruise, Pat, or did you?
No, she was the dancer that opened up our shows on Celebrity, Sin City Comedy.
Oh,
burlesque dancer.
Gotcha.
And her and I dated for a little bit, and we kind of made out in the Venice area there a couple of nights.
Very romantic.
Why not?
I filmed the whole thing. Go to my website.
Let's look at a clip now.
Only Patreon members.
We made out in the gutters of Venice.
Nice.
That was pretty awesome, man.
Done.
I mean, better for you, obviously. That was my second time to Venice. The first time, I was actually on my honeymoon with my current wife. But
the time that you and I hung out was only your second time?
It was only my second time in Venice.
Because you were kind of leading us around to places and stuff.
I spent 3 weeks in Italy, so I did a whole week there. So I was excited to be back. And I had friends there,
insane.
too. Yeah.
That was so beautiful, so much fun.
We did the overnight.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually parted ways with you guys, and I stayed with my friends overnight in their pad, and that was fun too. But man,
you didn't come back to the ship that night?
No, I stayed at my friend's house that night.
Oh.
And when I came back to the ship, they had sold my room, my cabin, but they didn't tell me. So there were people packing up my stuff.
Oh, you got.
And then it was a couple like this. This is our cabin, and it was a really nice cabin. It was like.
And you said, but my show went really well.
Wow, I've never heard. Mid-cruise, they moved you out of your cabin. Or
yeah, they made a mistake. They gave me an extra nice cabin. It was a forward cabin, and I had a view of the canals or the Gran Canale when we were coming in. It was sensational, and the entire trip was amazing, except for that one incident and that couple. They were so angry with me. And
remember how incredible Celebrity was? You would come on and you'd get swag. You'd get the bag, and it was amazing.
You'd get everything except you wouldn't get COVID-19 at that time. But
No.
you would get
There was baskets of fruit in your room and champagne and chocolates.
No, that sounds like Carnival. Doesn't Carnival do that?
I like
Champagne.
celebrities. One of my favorites because they treat the entertainers so well, except for when they're evicting you from your cabin. But that was one of the highlights.
They were packing up your stuff. They were touching.
They were touching it. But still, the whole trip, hanging out with you, Michelle, the other comedian, John. I don't remember his last name. But no, wasn't Payton, the Booker guy. It was maybe I'm wrong with the name, but one of the highlights of my comedy career. That particular
that was
cruise.
a blast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I had never seen you before, and you just destroyed in that theater. You had that completely nailed. That whole experience.
Can we just play that clip one more time?
Hey, Pat, we had on our regular interview show, we had Jimmy Carroll on a couple weeks ago.
Mary.
Yes, and we were telling the story, and then afterwards, when Al and I were talking, he couldn't believe that he thought it was Jimmy. It was just Jimmy's taken to that story so well that it sounds like it's Jimmy who went to radio that way.
Then he explained that it was actually you who experienced.
Yeah, I'm like, no. Pat is the guy in the story. It's Pat and I.
But Al was working for Side Splitters, and he was a comedian, but he also worked for the club and would take the comedians to media. And he and I were over it. We had morning radio with Bubba the Love Sponge, and that was weird. And then the afternoon we were burnt out, and we did the Burnout DJs afternoon show up in Tampa.
I mean, let's be honest. You said, like, you guys were saying Italy was one of the highlights. I mean, that story for me is a highlight of comedy. It's still top 3, top 2, whatever.
Well,
of the funniest stories that ever happened.
It has so much to it. It has Burnout DJ, drinking on the job, beleaguered intern. That poor girl looked like she'd been yelled at every day of the last year.
I mean, I think when people hear the stories, sometimes they don't even believe there's really a Mary. It sounds kind of made up, like poor Mary. No, Mary is fucking real.
You were in the corner, and I was behind computers, so I couldn't see him. All I could see was cowboy boots up in the console, and I could hear him. Yeah. And he was drinking. He asked her for some special coffee. Mary, get me that coffee and make it special coffee. Special. Mary went like this. Oh.
Do it again. Do it again. What did she do?
I said. He goes, Mary, get me some of that coffee and make it special coffee. And she was like, oh. And then we started the interview. Everything went wrong from the first question. Al, do you remember where he asked me where I was from? He said, Philadelphia, cheesesteaks, cream cheese. And I went, well, cream cheese is actually made in upstate New York, in a small town called Philadelphia. Well, you didn't have to correct me.
Philadelphia, huh?
You didn't have to correct me.
Then he's asking Pat, Seinfeld? Seinfeld. He's from Long Island. What the hell? What's going on? And Pat's looking at me. I'm behind an air conditioner, just laughing hysterically, and Pat's like, what the fuck? Get me out of here. Help me. So
then he made me dance. He saw the guitar, and he goes, you got your guitar. I want you to sing for your supper. He takes a big sip of the juice. And I'm like, what a setup. And I went to the thing I did on radio, which is this 38-second piece tops, maybe a minute, I don't know. And it was Bono pretentiously, pompously singing Bingo, the children's song, but with my own U2-like melody. But I forgot to say Bono from U2 because I was really phoning it in because I'd look at Al and go, geez, the guy just, why don't you sing for me? So I go, oh, okay. How about that Bono? Huh? He's a good singer, but what a pompous guy. He can take any song and make it sound special. Then I did Bono with all the affectations and the falsettos and powerful singing, doing Bingo, and to nothing. And all I see is the cowboy boots, no laughter. And Al was like shaking his head. And the minute I get done, all right, that'll be enough of that. Goodbye, fellas.
Wow, not funny. Not funny. Not funny.
Like, what the? And he throws us out. He gave us the bum's rush. And Al and I get in the elevator, and we're like, what happened? And Al goes, I don't know. And we get in the car, we turn his show on, and he is ripping me one. He goes like, what we forgot was that Sonny Bono just died a week earlier in an accident. Skiing.
Not funny.
All we hear is these comedians these days think they can make a fella dying on
thinking you're doing Bono. He thinks you're making fun of Sonny Bono who just died. What a disaster! Now that story morphed into something else because I thought that they were doing impressions of Ted Knight from the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
That's how he sounded.
Yes. So, and they were like, "Do you know what we're doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, Ted Knight." They're like, "No, you idiot."
just the thought of the burnout DJ.
Well, when we heard that, we were on the road. I literally had to pull over. Couldn't stop laughing. It was the funniest. It was just everything about it was so perfect.
Because we said, "What did I do? I didn't do anything." And you went, "Well, maybe he just didn't get it, or he's a big fan of Bono." I don't know. And Al and I, over the years, have gone. I wonder where that idiot ended up. And then you were there first, right? Down in. I was
at Visani's in Port Charlotte, and I had to do morning radio. And you do morning radio. It's one of those. They have a collection of stations. So I did morning radio, the main one. Then they go, "Hey, would you do it with Chuck? It's a rock and roll station.
Chuck Britton."
And I go, "Yeah, sure, okay." And I walk in, and it's fucking Chuck from our story.
You sent me photos?
With a big old coffee mug. No more Mary. That's his own coffee.
But it was the same guy. He had the same guy.
Cowboy boots on the console, just taking it easy. I mean, this is the end. This is the bottom out. This is the last stop for him. But he's alive. He's working. He's found in Punta Gorda or Port Charlotte.
When I did the radio show before that, I asked the guys. I said, "What's Chuck Britton's story?" And then the Golden Hippo guy, I forget his actual name. He goes, "Oh yeah, he's a total burnout. He has had such alcohol issues." On the job, I'm like, "No kidding." So when I get there, the guy is just going off on everybody at the station. He's so bitter. It's the Chuck that we knew to the 10th power now.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah, I was casually snapping photos of him while he was talking and sending them to Pat. I'm like, "I met him. He's here. He's alive in Port Charlotte."
And I did it 3 weeks later or a month later.
It's great.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Great. And now you're on Bob and Tom.
Bob and Tom every day.
Yeah, about a year and a half now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like that's huge, man.
Bob retired, and then they hired Josh Arnold from St. Louis, this great comedian, and myself doing all the funny music stuff, about four songs a day, and we've been having a really good time. It's a fun show.
You guys are doing.
We don't have a lot of guests right now. It's a lot different within this era. Era of Corona. We do a couple of Zoom things, but it's really just a show where we're all hopefully providing the funny. The Bob and Tom show used to be like guest after guest after guest.
Right. That's a lot of material.
Yeah. Are you doing
a day?
What are you doing? 20 songs a week?
I do 4 a day, maybe 1 an hour, and it's like brutal. In fact, every night I'm just like, And some nights I have Jimmy and I've got to do his homeschooling. I leave all the writing to the morning, and that stress of writing in the morning kind of makes some very interesting, songs. Have you
had songs that worked well enough, like you can put into your act? Have you where you go, that's in the act now?
Yeah, the new album has 15 of the originals from the last year and a half that I kind of really killed on the air, that I've been able to take over. If I were live performing, I would do them.
I got you.
If there were any shows to do them.
Yeah.
Nobody has pubes anymore in Greek physique. And Fat Elvis. Fat Elvis works live, and a song called Third Date has been working live. I got real lucky. I have 15 really good things now that I can put in the act that are completely original. I do some parodies for Bob and Tom, and I kind of treat that like my day job. I'm not a huge fan of it, but if they work, they're really great as disposable things.
But entertainment, especially in radio, you got to be funny. If they're funny, people are obviously requesting. They want to hear it.
Yeah.
So
that's just a lot of material. I mean, that is amazing to just churning out that original stuff every day.
Well, we have we're all sent about maybe 15 stories a day, and Tom and I'll kind of handpick stories that could possibly go with a song. So we have people to generate stories and edit them. I'm given material to work with. In other words, hey,
sure.
Certain, I off the top of my head, I can't think of something, but
right.
They seem to be story related, and then I'll bring a couple of things on my own don't have any story attached to them.
So like the story "Nobody Has Pubes Anymore" was a news story, and then brought to you, or is that out of your own? How does that come about?
That was on CNN.
How does that come about?
Way back when I was 22, everybody had hair down there. The girls in Playboy magazine all had pubic hair. Don't want to take a lady to lunch if there's no carpet to munch. Nobody has pubes anymore.
Oh my God.
Nobody has pubes anymore.
Sweet baby.
I went to my local gym. Everybody there's hair free. I'm feeling self-conscious because downstairs I'm Duck Dynasty. Took a trimmer to took a trimmer to my sack. Looks like a baby carrot playing hacky sack. Nobody has pubes anymore. Nobody has pubes. Everybody's hoo-ha's baby but smooth. Nobody has pubes anymore. Pubic hair. Oh, how I miss you. Why did you have to go? Fire crotch red, the Bobby Brown or Twisted Sister? Are you hiding in the beard of a Brooklyn hipster? I had a date with a gorgeous girl. Hell, I was twice her age. I was hoping when we made love she had hair down there like Betty Page. But now everybody's coochie's bare, and I like a little Garfunkel down there. Nobody has pubes anymore. Everybody's waxed and shaved, and I like a little bush at the top of the cave. Nobody has pubes anymore.
All right. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That was Cronkite years ago. Yeah. Nobody has
Mary.
Well, I had a song called "Nobody Speaks English Anymore" in that style of Leon Redbone. Nobody speaks, and Tom called me up one day and goes, "Hey, I have an idea for you. Do your old timey Leon Redbone character, and this guy he misses the pubic hair, and now no one has pubic hair." And the thing just came to me in a flash, and I did it the next morning.
Pun intended.
And Tom was like, "Holy crap!" And, that was probably the biggest one for the last.
I did see it. It was hysterical. It was on YouTube.
And the Leon Red, I mean, that's so perfect. That kind of Leon Red, that
so
kind
funny.
of character singing it.
That was Tom generated. I never would have had that song if I wrote every one of it. It's my melody, but Tom goes, "You ought to try it," and boom, it just came to me.
Wow.
So things like that happen all the time.
Yeah,
nice.
Hysterical.
Very nice. Yeah. I want to.
You in a closet?
This is my merch. This is the merch room.
I know you and your lady are no longer together.
This is the merch room.
Well, he was in the he was in the doghouse for about 2 years, and now he's in the closet.
Yeah, no, I'm literally I'm in the closet.
I didn't know it was that bad.
I'm in the. I am in the closet.
Please do not come out of the closet, because it's going to change the whole theme of the two dicks. It's just
the way things are going. I'll tell you.
When I text you and ask you how you were doing, and I would checked up on you when this did happen, I didn't know that you were in the merch closet.
This is where I live, Pat. I'm in the merch. Here's some clothes, and an extra. If you need a belt, you know what I mean. This is where I live. So, yeah, things are. Who knew? Who knew it was going to marriage and COVID in the same year?
How is everybody surviving? If it weren't for Bob and Tom, I don't honestly know what I'd be doing.
I'm living in a closet, sir. That's how I'm surviving. There's unemployment. I make $125 a week in Florida. That's unemployment. They just, the federal stopped for now. So as of right now, I make $125 a week.
Now we are selling merch, but we
Yeah.
We're going to wait till the first quarter is over so that if we report it, we're supposed to tell unemployment that we made money. But we're not there yet. So
I think we'll be okay.
I don't think we're going to show them the $14 profit we made so far.
Yeah, I don't think we're worrying about reporting anything just yet.
Wait a minute.
I'm
going to be
I mean, Pat, you're in one of the better jobs for entertainers at this moment.
Absolutely.
You know what?
You're a regular gig.
I was doing the cruise ship stuff with you guys, and then with going through a divorce, it just was very problematic after a while. So I kind of got lucky to have fallen into Bob and Tom right at that time.
Yeah, that's perfect now. God,
I honestly don't know what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
Well,
and how far are you? And how far do you live from? Do you have to go in the studio now, or are you doing?
Yeah,
it
I'm in
from
the
home?
studio. I was home for a month. A couple of us broadcast from home, and that was on through Zoom. And obviously, there's a little bit of a comedy delay, and that was rough. Because if they sang along with me, I'd hear them like 2 seconds later.
The echo. Yeah. We ran into an issue doing that. We had a guest on. It was actually my wife. She was in the office, and it was echo, and then we just said, okay, we're not going to do that again. But
even now, you guys are doing really well with the delay, but the delay throws me. That month I was doing it from home. Jeez.
Yeah. And how far do you live from the studio?
Oh, I'm about a mile. I'm not far.
Oh, great.
Oh,
yeah, and at 4 o'clock, no one's driving, so it's pretty easy to get there.
Oh, so it's literally a 3-minute drive for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great, man.
And do you have gigs anything coming up in the fall, or you?
Well, you guys know the famous Crackers from Indy. I'll be doing that the 20th if that doesn't get shut down, because Indianapolis may be shutting down nightclubs and bars again soon.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's tentative.
Now is that the downtown location? Because
there's only one now, Al.
Broad Ripple's gone, right?
Yep.
Okay, I closed that room.
Yeah. Well,
pre-pandemic.
It had all the markings of we're closing. When you get your check and they go, "Hey, do us a favor.
Can you hold off?
Don't cash it.
Don't.
Okay.
Just hold on to it. We'll
My thing on Sunday night was a Yoder gig. You guys know the famous Yoder from Louisville, Kentucky?
Of course. Oh yeah.
Pat, when you get your check home, please will you wait till Wednesday to put that in? What? Wait till Wednesday?
Well, remember Atlantic City?
Yes.
Comedy Stop. That was a week. Well, they post date the check 1 week.
Yes.
From Sunday.
First, they were giving it to you on your last night, and sometimes they would cash it for you, but that stopped. And then they said, "Okay, we're going to mail it to you." Then we're
going to mail them out.
And then they say, "Okay, you get it in a week. Hold on to it for another week." 2 weeks later to get your pay. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah,
the ship was going down.
Yeah, that mailing thing, that's a sign of death. That's you're like, oh no.
I remember it. Go ahead.
At the time I was married, I worked up in Germantown outside of Milwaukee at a place called Giggles, and that guy said, "I'm going to mail it to you." I went, "This isn't going to go over well." I get home. I have a new baby, and this guy's mailing me the check.
Oof.
And the thing is, I'm sorry, Al, but they sometimes, you'll see them, they're in the office, the door's open, they're counting out, cash and credit cards. There's like a bunch of cash, it goes into a safe, or sometimes it goes home with somebody. But you can see your money there, but for some reason you have to wait for it if you get it.
Well, I knew, I did a club Riddles in Chicago, and they had, remember that place? Anyone worked there? Riddles?
No.
And, the guy, we had small crowds. It was a snowstorm, but I knew as the Saturday night second show ended, I'm sitting at the bar. There's no one left in the club, and I'm waiting to get paid, and that office door is closed. And I knew, here it comes. There's going to be we're going to have an issue, some problem. And the guy came out and said, "Hey, can you come in? I need to talk to you." And I said, "Well, okay. What are we talking about?" He said, "Well, I don't have the money. I didn't make it. I don't have it." And I'm not, this isn't 25 grand or something. You know what I mean? This is a weekend in Chicago, but he didn't have it. And I go, "Well, what does that mean?" He goes, "Well, can you work with me?" What can you work with?
I just worked for you.
So what the hell? The whole thing. I go, "No, I can't work with. What does that even mean? Work with you?"
Last summer, I did what was called a benefit for a biker club. here in Indianapolis. It's the guy that ran a Fort Wayne Comedy Club, and now he goes, "Would you do this benefit for us? We'll pay you $1,500." And it was a Saturday night, and I said, "Yeah." I mean, I had it open, and I went there, and it was like an outdoor thing, and it rained. So I'm in this little gazebo, where the band was kind of shoved in. It's raining, and no one's outside except a couple of people back where the grill is under some kind of awning, So I performed to no one, and they wanted me to perform for an hour, and there were like 3 or 4 people, but everybody else was in the clubhouse.
What?
So it's a complete bust.
Do they have sound in there? Are they hearing you, or is it?
The speakers were covered, but they were hearing. But keep in mind, they only wanted me to do the time because the guy was an oral agreement. Yeah, you do an hour outdoors. There's no one. It's a horrible.
There's no one there.
I worked my butt off. I tried to make the 4 people laugh that were grilling burgers way out there. Yeah, raining. I go in to get paid, and all the bikers are kind of standing around. And the head guy goes, he hands me the check, and then he says to me, if you donated a huge portion of that check back to us, that would make we kind of break even. And I was like, I didn't know what to do.
You're like, dude, I'm wet. I got wet during this job. No,
I stood my ground. I said, you asked me to do an hour. I did an hour. It rained. There's no one out there. I worked my ass off. I really need this money. I could have taken another job, so I'm going to take this check, and I will donate down the line when I'm in a better position to. And then I walked away expecting gunfire.
Vroom, vroom, vroom. Get him!
Yeah.
They all got real quiet, and I walked out. It was like a scene from a movie.
Holy shit. It's amazing they make you do the show. There's no one there. It's raining. They're not, do the show, do the hour.
Yeah, I did it.
Stick to the time. I hate that.
Wow. Yeah,
4 or 5 people in the audience. We're going to do a show. I thought it was 10 people. Isn't that the cutoff?
There used to be a number.
It was 10.
It was always 20.
Oh, 20. So I had in New York City.
Now
it was 10.
9.
Yeah. I did do one college gig where they had a snowstorm. No one showed up, and they said, "Listen, we're so sorry. We had to cancel it. I'm so sorry. Do you mind? We're going to give you your check."
Here's your check.
I'm like, oh, darn! I really wanted to do that show.
Yeah, I did Old Dominion in Norfolk, Virginia, and they promoted the wrong day, and I went down there. I'm the following night, but on my contract they had messed up, and the woman said, "Oh my God, we promoted tomorrow." I said, "Can you do tomorrow?" I said, "No, I'm doing another college." She goes, "Well, we have a contract, and we made the mistake, but you're going to have to do an hour in the theater." And I said, "To who?" She goes, "To no one, but it says here you have to do an hour." And I said, you're joking me, right? She goes, "No, she calls everybody, and she doesn't get an answer. So because it was on the contract, she made me stand up there to no one. And then she sat in the control booth, and I said, "Are you going to pay attention?" She goes, "No, I have to study for a test." And she turned to me. And I just kind of talked.
See, at least in that sense, like with a guitar, you can almost practice or
rehearse
a guitar.
That's all I did.
If you just stand up without a guitar, and then you just feel like I've done kind of shows where you just feel so humiliated because you're just doing, you have to do your quote unquote act, but no one is listening. Nobody. Not even a guy cooking a burger in the back.
Well, I actually had a guy cooking a burger in the back. They scheduled it the same night they had a game show. So there's 300 students in the theater right next door to the cafeteria. So I'm performing in front of the 4 lunch people and 2 students that were antisocial with the game show. So I said, "Can I just go over there and do like a quick 15, 20 minutes in front of this packed crowd?" They said, "No, that's a different program." We have a time thing here. You have to perform. You're contracted to perform for basically 2 students and 4 people behind the lunch counter. And it was whatever, a $2,000 check. I had to do it. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, colleges never heard of the number, the cutoff number. They didn't know about that. That never got to colleges. Less than 20, anything. They never heard that. It's just you do it your show.
I had to write an apology letter though because the woman that was running it, I go, "This is silly." I go, "There's a captive audience right over there, and they're not starting for another half hour. I can go over." And she said that I harassed her for asking to perform in front of an audience.
That was a simpler time if that was harassment.
That was harassment.
In Jacksonville, the activities director goes, "Hey, it was one of the cafeteria shows, the Nooners, and we all know how those go." And he goes, "You're going to be working over here. There's no stage. There is a mic, though. It's on a straight stand. I plugged the guitar in, which was a miracle." And then he says to me right before he brings me on, "Hey, but you share this PA with the grill orders." I said, "Huh?" "Yeah, don't let it bother you." I didn't know what it meant.
Why would it bother me?
I'm right in the first minute, and I hear, and then it takes over the PA. "Number 7, number 7." And then I went, "Oh."
That makes the brunch show on Carnival sound appealing.
Sausage and oven, sausage and onions. Ready, sausage and onions.
I think they're legendary. I don't think I've ever eaten it so bad as.
And I had video. I filmed you while you were doing
that's right.
a brunch show.
You never to put it up.
And you saw me filming it, and you were like, "You have to delete it, please." I go, "I will." You're like, "No, now you have to. Please delete that." The Carnival would do a show at 10:30 and 1 o'clock or so. The comedians in the dining room, basically unannounced, where people are having breakfast, having brunch, and now it's time for comedy. And these are the guys you'll see this evening in the Punchliner Comedy Club. Here is Al Romas. Here's Pat Godwin. And we take the mic and do 5 or 10 minutes. It's the worst.
Everyone's annoyed.
Beyond. Everyone is so. I think John Knight, comedian John Knight, holds a record. I heard he took the microphone and said no, and then handed it back and walked away.
I love that. I respect that.
Yeah, we were all like doing less than 5. We were supposed to do 5. We're all, but they go, "Yeah, John Knight did like 4 seconds." I go,
the only time that I was effective is I sang the menu once in like one of my impressions, and it actually worked. And then I tried it again a week later, and it didn't. So.
Yeah, I remember just you pleading with me. "Please delete that. Please, just delete that. Tell me it's deleted." I'm like, "All right, it's deleted." But it was the funniest shit.
Who took us around that week? Was that Jeff Shaw?
I think it was Jeff Shaw. Yeah, the fun dude, was he the fun dude? Yeah.
Yeah, the fun dude.
Not the fun dude, but the fun dude. Okay.
As shows, they were great. I mean, the club is packed, and
the shows were amazing.
We were having great shows. I mean, but then they have to throw those. They always have to give you something to kind of fuck you over. "Oh, you're enjoying the shows? They're going great. Well, here's brunch, and here's your cabin under 9 miles of water. That kind of thing." So
at least the cabin
always got to be
nice
something.
Window and a nice view, and it's spacious. It's relaxed.
Yeah, champagne and caviar greet you.
Get yourself a Filipino haircut, and you're good to go.
All right.
All right, we're coming into the final inning here, guys. Pat, what is it that we need to promote for you besides Bob and Tom and other things that are going on? When's your next live performance?
The new album comes out in the fall. We do not know how to promote it, to put it out at one time or one song at a time. We're trying to get advice now. And I did it with John Mellencamp's backup band for 5 of the songs.
Oh, awesome.
And then a lot of solo piano. There's no audience. All these songs are just produced really well, and hopefully they're very funny. And I want to listen to them over and over again and have people listen to them, as opposed to when you do live audiences or live funny songs, they burn quickly. So this is a really fun project.
Oh, fantastic.
Nice. And what's the name? Do you have a title of the?
I don't know. I've been fooling around with Above the Belt. I can't really. I can't figure out. I don't have anything I love yet. That's my favorite so far. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That sounds great, man. I'm looking forward to hearing those.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely, excellent. Man. Yeah, and thanks for taking the time for coming on.
Every day on Bob and Tom.
6 to 10 East Coast. You can listen on the app. We're in 125 markets nationwide, and a lot of ways. And we're on YouTube every morning for free too, from 6 to 10.
Damn, man! You could once this COVID lifts a little bit, you can get out there on the road and
right.
Should be doing okay.
Right when I never really drew a crowd in my life until that last month before COVID hit. I kind of set a couple of records at clubs, which I don't do because of the Bob and Tom exposure. Sure. And then boom.
Wow.
Yep. There you go. Yeah. Well, hopefully.
Who knows?
I don't know. That's the thing. I'm
When you
running
guys
on
scheduled to be out
125
there
a week,
again?
so
When are you guys scheduled for your next stuff?
I have a gig a weekend in October in Vero Beach and a one-nighter with Helen Keeney in November. So things are looking pretty good, Pat. I'm doing. I got some good, and I'm getting $125 a week from Florida unemployment, and I'm living in a closet, so I can't complain. I'll tell you that, Mary.
It's warm in there though, right? It's not cold down there at all.
It's warm. It's nice and warm.
I see you have your special coffee to keep you warm. You haven't had to buy boys' underwear in a while. That's an inside joke.
All right.
Well, we'll
decide for that one.
Good to see you, Pat.
And Pat's only here on the Patreon supported page, the Two Dicks and the Talking Dicks. Pat, thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate it. We know you're a busy man. You're a busy man.
Great seeing you, buddy.
You
Great
too.
seeing you. Thanks, Pat.
See ya. What do I do now? Just leave meeting?
Now we fumble like three old men. How do I get out of this?
Oh my
Subscribe. Mary.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money.